Good morning. Where's all the cool kids at? Where's all the early bird cool kids at this wonderful morning? Hey, listen on something to smile about Saturday, guys. Again, this is episode number 8, guys. We're making some progress. We're really kind of moving through this. We're doing it every Saturday morning. And again, I'm not here to sell you on coaching or speaking or coming and training you or nothing like that. We're just literally giving you some really nice stories from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Zig Ziglar. Right? And he wrote a book called Something to Smile About Saturday, which you guys, if you guys have been following me, you guys know that I wanted to add a Saturday, but I didn't have something funny, something cool to really tie it to. So I came up with Something to Smile About Saturday, only to find out after the fact that he had already written a book called Something to Smile About. So it worked out perfectly. So today, guys, we're just simply going to be talking about the story that's in this book called Tying Your Shoes. And as you see in the caption up there, it talks about Roger Crawford when he was 16 years old, and he couldn't even tie his shoes up until that point. But going on to become a world-class athlete is what he actually ended up doing. Even whenever the Velcro, you remember those Velcro laces? Yep. I thought they were cool too, but boy, you couldn't sneak out of those shoes for nothing like you could the laces. Just saying. Today, guys, we're going to be learning about how his powerful mindset allowed him to achieve greatness despite his physical limitations. And in this episode, we're breaking down Roger's remarkable story and how we can adopt his attitude to make full use of what we do have and not focusing on our lack, not focusing on those things that we don't have. So let's go ahead and go to the middle of the playground on this one, right? Because it's going to be so awesome to hear one of the most inspiring stories. And actually, he was one of the great speakers of our time. It goes on to say that he excelled in other areas such as sports, becoming a star tennis player while he was in high school. And he was a championship player, winning more than 95% of his matches when he went out and played. And the cool part about that was he continued it. He literally continued that pace going on into the high school, and how most people's disabilities. He went on to say that when he was talking about his disability, he said most people's disabilities cannot be seen. You hearing this? Most people's disabilities cannot be seen, but they're just as real, and in many cases more pronounced than his limitations. And so he was born with one leg missing from the knee down, and he doesn't have hands complete with 4 fingers and a thumb. As a matter of fact, he only has 2 extensions from where fingers usually are, and yet he uses the 2 extensions to accomplish some remarkable successes. Roger doesn't complain about what he does not have, but he makes full use of what he does have. And so this attitude has enabled him to become the first athlete with severe disabilities to go on and win and compete in the NCAA division college sport. And Roger goes on to say that doesn't pretend it's been easy, but then life is seldom easy for most of us. And today, Roger became one of the most effective public speakers in our country, and is a very successful published author and a family man. And he speaks to companies literally all over the world. Some of them range from the Fortune 500 to just normal trade and educational associations. And so my suggestion today is that we just simply adopt Roger's attitude and his mindset to be able to be more, do more, and have more in this playground that we call life. Mr. Ziglar goes on to write about this couldn't be better timing. It says politicians like to brag that they are beefing up the economy. Obviously, they don't know the difference between beef and pork. I love Mr. Ziglar. It goes on to say that some people find fault as if there's a reward for it, and others see good in every difficulty. And so, guys, what can we learn? Seriously, what can we learn from this story on a Saturday morning? Yeah, I know, Johnny Juan, it's early. Yep. But you know what? You're watching this on the replay when you're up and you've had your breakfast and you've had all the fun, right? And so Roger was born with physical limitations. He was missing the leg. He had 2 fingers, or they didn't even call them fingers. They called them extensions. And so he never complained about what he didn't have. Instead, he focused on what he did have. And so if you're going to have that kind of success, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the lack? Are you focusing on those things that you don't have, or are you focusing on the things that you don't have? And so that's the difference, right? In high school, he became the tennis champion, and that's what he went on. He went on to dominate in the college and eventually competing, in college and in pro sports. And so after he became that public speaker and the family man, right? What was his message? What did he go out and talk about? Obviously, right? Would he have your attention? Absolutely. I mean, you're sitting here talking to a very successful athlete, very successful businessman, very successful speaker, and he's missing a leg from the knee down. He's missing fingers, but he was able to compete at a high level. And so what's our takeaway? What should we be focusing on? When we look at Roger's story, it shows us that while we may have visible or invisible disabilities, the key here is to make full use of what you do have. But how many of us, me included, how many of us focus on what we don't have? Yeah, guilty. Look, I'm not going to sit up here early Saturday morning and tell you I'm perfect. No, not even close. I'm learning just like you are. I have coaches just like most of you should. I have a person that I am held accountable to. And so we have to do the best we can with what we have and not focus on what we don't have, but focus on those things that we do have. And instead of, guys, we really can, if we were to shift our mindset from what we don't have over here where our true potential lies, imagine how big of an impact that would have, not just on the life in general, but in your specific life and in your specific family and in your kids and in your community. It's a huge thing, guys. If you've heard me speak, if you've heard me talk, I love the Helen Keller story. And I love her quotes, right? And one of her quotes says that although the world is full of suffering, get this, it's also full of overcoming it. If you watch the episode on Faith Your Fears Friday, we talked about Psalms 118, verse 18, and it talked about how the Lord has taught me a hard lesson, but he did not let me die. And that's where we get the meme, but did you die? But did you die? You overcame something. If you're watching this, chances are you're not dead. So you really can overcome your biggest difficulties, guys. Don't let that hold you back. And so my challenge today is think of a limitation, right? Something that you have been using as a crutch, maybe even a disability, so to speak, and that you've been focusing on, right? What we focus on, we get more of. So stop focusing on the problem and start focusing on the solution. And how can you shift your perspective right here, right now, this morning, on what you do have versus what you don't have, right? That's that true potential inside of you. That's what's calling you. That's what's getting your attention. It's still early, guys. But seriously, Roger did not complain. He did not complain about his challenges. He looks for every opportunity in them, and his attitude was just simply one that should remind us that there's always good in every difficulty if we choose to look for it, right? Matthew 7:7 says, "Seek and you will find," right? You can't find that which you're not looking for. And so Winston Churchill, that's another one of people I like to quote a lot. He says, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. And the optimist," that's where you guys come in. That's where the cool kids are. "You guys see the opportunity in every difficulty." And that's the mindset shift that we have to have. If you're going through something difficult, ask yourself, where is the opportunity? Where is this opportunity that's looking for, right? John Maxwell said it this way: every problem has within itself the seed of its own solution, but you have to be looking for it, guys. And so if you're in something difficult right now, if you're in a challenge, if you're in a trial, if you're in a situation that is outside of your control, that is very difficult for you, change your mindset shift right now and start asking yourself, what is I guess I should put that. What is the one thing? What is the opportunity here? What is the one thing that I can find, that I can pull from this difficulty? How can I become better because of what it is that I'm going through, guys. And I want to encourage you guys today to simply reflect on that current challenge and look for how can that challenge be differently if you simply shift your mindset. Because what happens is if you do that, that challenge, that difficulty is going to actually become a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. And that's where that's where that change happens. If Roger Crawford taught us anything, it's that it teaches us two powerful lessons. You ready? He teaches us to make full use of what we have and always look for the good in every difficulty. His attitude is just simply one that we can all adopt to overcome our own challenges, whether they be visible or invisible, right? You look at these people with disabilities because they don't have a hand, they don't have an arm, they don't have a leg. But how many of us have a disability in our mindset? And that is more difficult to overcome than an actual physical limitation. So for all you cool kids out there, what's your next step? I'm going to answer that for you guys. I'm going to help you out with the easy ones. It's to shift your mindset to focus on your strengths. That's what I talk about. And again, I'm not here to sell you coaching, but when we coach, we always look at what's your strength. And I tell all my people that I coach that I'm never going to take them out of their strength zone. That's the problem with most coaches is they take people out of their strength zone and they leave them in their comfort zone. We're going to leave you in your strength zone, but I am going to challenge you and push you outside of your comfort zone. And so maybe that opportunity that you're looking for is in that current challenge. It's in your current situation, that whatever it is that you're going through. I know it sucks. I know it's difficult, but you know what? You did not die, or you haven't died yet. So what is it? Whatever it is, know that you have everything you need to succeed. Mr. Ziegler said it perfectly. You watching right now and on the replay, you already have all the characteristics that you need for success. You just simply have to recognize them, claim them, and develop them. So is that what you're going to do this morning? If that's what you're going to do early this morning on a Saturday morning, you're my kind of peeps, right? And so I want to just simply help you, give you that encouragement, because when you change your mindset, right? The mindset is when you shift your focus from limitations to strengths, and you make full use of what you have rather than dwelling on the lack. Because every challenge, right? The motivation behind this whole episode is that every challenge brings opportunity, and you have to adopt the mindset that difficulties are simply opportunities in disguise. Because seriously, if it was easy, yeah, everybody would be doing it. But you're not everybody. You're you. You are specific and unique and rare. And the truth of the matter, this is what your enemy doesn't want you to know, that makes you extremely, extremely valuable, guys. And that's what's so awesome. The methodology behind it, all right, how you do everything, that you simply reflect on how you can see the good in your current situation. Stop. Take that deep breath, right? We did it on Thursday. We talked about how we respond. We don't react. If you missed this entire week, that's going to be your homework. They're about 15 minutes long, right? So that's 6 days. That's 5 days. So that's what, an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, because I did go over on a few of those. But go back and do that, guys. Do some self-reflection. Do some breathing exercises. Do something that's going to help move you in the direction of the dream that you're trying to accomplish, because we have a big goal. We have a big goal that we're trying to reach. And if you don't, come see me. We'll talk about it. But it just simply starts with you reflecting on your unique abilities. Look, I'll leave you with this, right? Saturday morning, you can finish this social media and go back to bed if you want to. But you make a poor black and white copy of anybody else. But you are a 100% original of yourself. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Guys, thank you guys so much for being with me here this morning. April, buenos dias, April. Excited to have you guys on here. Thank you for jumping on here with me this morning. Guys, you guys are the best. You guys are, fixing your mindset on time management. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one for a lot of people. And so I had to do that this morning. It's one of those things that you either make it a priority to make it happen or you don't. You don't say you didn't have time. I want you to tell yourself it wasn't a priority. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, guys, I'll leave you guys with that. All right, love you guys. Thank you. Hey, we'll see you guys here on Motivation Monday, where we are going to actually be going on to the encouragement series of the Mr. Ziegler's Little Book of Big Quotes. And guys, I'm going to just go ahead and read the first one to you right here. It says, start your child's day with love and encouragement and end the day the same way, guys. Love it. Hey, guys, we will see you here on Motivational Monday next week. Adios.